Welcome back to the Lions Legion Lancers. Dash, slash, slice, and dice. In today's video tutorial, we will review my strategy and tactics utilized when unleashing my Interceptor Javelin by maximizing its overall damage and survivability potential. Now, the Interceptor is the most complex of the Javelins to maximize, so let's try to be as precise as possible when covering each topic. My Interceptor Lightning and Fire-based builds entitled Conduit R1 and Supernova R1 are on exhibition in the gameplay. I'll link my Interceptor build playlist in the description below. In these videos, I reveal each build's theme to include the strategy and tactics utilized to maximize the loadout. I also review the components, gear, and weapons with inscriptions to showcase how I was able to provide a synergy between the components, gear, weapons, and inscriptions to maintain high damage on all sources to include the ultimate ability. This is done all while maintaining effective combo aura damage and high survivability. If you are new here, then welcome. This channel is your source for Anthem Grandmaster 3-tier builds and loadouts for the Colossus, Interceptor, Ranger, and Storm Javelins, as well as tips and tutorial videos on how to maximize your Javelin's damage and survivability potential for Grandmaster 3. If you enjoy the content here at the Lions Legion, remember to like and subscribe to join up with the rest of the Lions and Lionesses. Also, click the bell so that you'll be notified of every video upload. So let's get into today's topic. Now, it is important to first understand the purpose of the Interceptor Javelin. The Interceptor's archetype is the Infiltrator or Assassin. This Javelin has access to high single target burst damage through its assault and strike systems. Oh, and before I forget, at the end of the video I have a teaser for a new Interceptor build, so be sure to hang around for that. Now, back to the topic. The Interceptor is the Infiltrator or Assassin. It boasts light armor, just as the Storm Javelin does. This means that this Javelin is not designed to sustain heavy damage. No, this Javelin is about speed and precision, striking fast and striking hard, then quickly moving to the next target to assassinate. In fact, the Interceptor is the most agile of all the Javelins, which enables it to move at lightning speeds. The Interceptor, much like the infiltrating assassin that it was designed as, excels in 1v1 combat. The Interceptor was not designed to be a heavy damage sustaining tank, so naturally it does struggle when surrounded and battling groups. But it must be said that when stacking enough sustain, which is armor and or shields, and enough damage with a synergized build and loadout, the Interceptor can hold its own even when surrounded and cornered. The Interceptor is unique in that its melee attack is actually 3 attacks with each button press. The Interceptor attacks with lightning speed precision with 2 minor strikes and a major strike. The major strike deals the most damage in the attack sequence. The melee increase inscription and melee sigils both affect all of this damage. Therefore, melee increase inscriptions, melee sigils, and the bloodlust component are all highly beneficial to the Interceptor when focusing on melee builds. Many of the key Interceptor components have inherent effects that revolve around the Interceptor's melee attack. The Interceptor's strike and assault systems are its offensive systems. They each possess gear that deals high burst damage, but one will quickly notice that these systems both lack any large area of effect options. It is also important to note that the strike and assault systems that are melee attacks can benefit from melee inscriptions, melee sigils, and the bloodlust component to increase their damage. This is unique for the Interceptor. These melee inscriptions, melee sigils, and the bloodlust component provide an additional option for increasing the overall damage output for these systems. Furthermore, when considering which inscription to prioritize on the Interceptor's melee weapons, the Blades of Warding and Deathstalker Blades, the melee inscription can be more useful in most cases when utilizing melee attack-based assault or strike systems. The melee increase inscription will further increase the damage from the assault and or strike systems as well as the damage from the melee weapons blades. Now, all of the Interceptor's components are good at what they are purposed for. So, for this topic, we will focus on the Javelin's specific melee damage increase component, the combo aura damage increase component, and the sustain components. These components are Way of Resolve, Way of the Bold, and Survival Algorithm. Way of Resolve, which increases the Interceptor's melee damage by 10%, and the inherent effect is that dashing increases melee damage by 40% for 10 seconds, which encourages quickly and aggressively closing the distance between us and our targets and executing them with melee attacks. Next is Way of the Bold, which increases the Interceptor's combo aura strength by 40% and restores 40% armor after a melee kill as its inherent effect. The Way of the Bold is the Interceptor's combo damage increase component. This component does not increase the damage amount of the detonation or the status's aura effect. However, it does increase the rate at which the status effect pulsates around the javelin. This, therefore, increases the amount of damage dealt from the aura as the aura pulsates at a higher frequency. The damage from the aura can be further increased through elemental or acid damage increase inscriptions and/or sigils. The Interceptor is unique in that its combo aura component and combo damage increase inscription neither affect its initial combo detonation damage. The damage number that is displayed when detonating a combo seems to be based on the javelin's overall gear score and gear tier, and any current buff that is active that increases all of the javelin's damage. A component that provides this type of damage increase buff is Symbiotic Surge. However, the combo sigil does in fact increase this initial damage amount. Consequently, due to the function of how melee and combo damage is distributed for the Interceptor, one must be more precise in how this javelin is built to truly maximize its potential. Let's go deeper. The Elemental Damage Increase inscription increases the damage from the combo pulse aura for fire, ice, and lightning. Although the general Elemental Damage Increase inscription is more difficult to obtain, by prioritizing this inscription, it would make it easier to build elemental focused builds and loadouts for the Interceptor versus focusing on the very specific fire, ice, or lightning inscriptions. However, if building an acid focused loadout or build, then the acid specific inscription would be required. Thus, elemental and acid inscriptions and sigils can be highly beneficial for the Interceptor. Next for review is the component Survival Algorithm. Survival Algorithm increases maximum shields by 35% and decreases armor by 35%. The inherent effect occurs when clearing a negative status effect. Clearing negative status effects immediately recharges shields by 40%. This can occur once every 10 seconds. I've actually been playtesting this component off and on throughout my Anthem career, and the Survival Algorithm component actually seems to be quite useful when paired with the Rally Cry or Voice of Courage support system, or even affects duration inscriptions. This component also speaks to the strength of the Interceptor shield and its shield regeneration design's intent. This component made me reconsider my view of the importance of the Interceptor shield completely. The Interceptor is unique in that after its shield has been broken and its recharge has begun, moving faster recharges its shield faster. Therefore, a triple dash will quickly regenerate its shields. This is a key utility of the Javelin and something to consider when building for sustain. Initially, observing the 35% armor reduction made this component an easy pass, but the 35% armor reduction seems to be scaled from the Interceptor's base armor value only. Thus, through armor inscriptions or sigils, this reduction can easily be mitigated, resulting in the shield recharge being highly beneficial when coupled with the Rally Cry or Voice of Courage support system. In summary, we discussed unleashing the Interceptor for maximum precision through utilizing armor and shield inscriptions and sigils, melee inscriptions and sigils, combo aura damage increase inscriptions, the combo damage sigil, elemental and acid inscriptions and sigils, and finally, key Interceptor components. I hope that you found the information, insights, and tips to be useful in unleashing your Interceptor Javelin through maximizing its overall damage output and survivability to bring maximum precision against every target that you execute. Remember to click that like button for the video. You can also click the subscribe button to join up with the rest of the Lions Legion. Share the video as well and help other Lancers at Fort Tarsus increase their speed and precision. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And to all my lions and lionesses out there in the Legion, never let them hear you coming until it's too late. Grrr.